perspective now on China's film industry. I'm joined live via Skype by Jamaal Finkley. He's CEO and executive producer of BlackTree TV. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I'd like to start with the Shanghai Film Festival, which opened both online and offline. Is that sort of model likely to be the new normal for international film festivals for a while?
Yeah, we're seeing that occur with many film festivals, Toronto Film Festival, Telluride, Berlin. We're seeing a lot of them go to online and online screenings and online viewing to give the film experience, to be able to display the new projects that's coming out. And I think that's going to be the new normal for a while, for the years to come, until we get a hold of this coronavirus.
And so explain to our viewers the profit distribution in the film industry. Just how important is the reopening of cinemas when it comes to profitability?
Well, the exhibitors, the cinemas are the exhibitors, and they play a big role in how much advertising budgets films get, and a lot of the prerequisite advance money that a lot of films get are from the exhibitors who order these films for their cinemas, whether it's Lowe's or Regal or any of the big chains in advance. So it's a big hit for to be online and have all these major movies pushed back. Even if the industry picks up on streaming services like Disney Plus and Netflix and all these other streaming services that are now available, it's gonna hurt the industry as a whole, because the exhibitors are, a big portion of the pie when you're talking about the film industry as a whole.
And we've seen that for safety reasons, a lot of cinemas are not allowing food and beverages in movie theaters because of the pandemic. Obviously, an important profit source for cinemas. What are your thoughts on that, and how much that might be taking away financially?
Yeah, it's another financial hit, because a lot of the cinemas are sponsored by big beverage companies like a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, and when you can't serve those beverages and you can't serve that popcorn, it's hurting the bottom line of the exhibitors, which is going to probably force the closing of a lot of cinema chains. So I think there's been a lot of creativity among the exhibitors. We're starting to see some exhibitors do drive-in theaters in their parking lots. We see float-in theaters here. So I think there'll be a lot of creative ways to get around that. But for right now, everybody's taking a hit, including the beverage and the employees of these cinemas that aren't able to get summer jobs and work between school at the movie theater, which is such a tradition in a lot of places.
And so what sort of a wake-up call has this pandemic been for the film industry as a whole? And what are some of the changes that you think that might be more permanent?
Well, at the same time, the exhibitors have fought against streaming services. And even when we look at the award season and the way that awards are divvied out, we haven't seen many huge projects from like a Netflix or a Hulu or Disney Plus become award contenders, because the exhibitors fought against that part of the industry. I think going forward, we're going to have to give a lot more acknowledgement to stuff that's streaming, because I think that's a lot of things that were meant to come out on the big screen are now going to be just streaming, and it's also going to take a lot more precautions into the way we do movies. I mean, the excitement of going into a packed theater is part of why, like, people love Star Wars or the Avengers. They like to be with these huge crowds at these and wait in line. And I think, like, for a moment, we're going to have to just rethink how we enjoy these big movies, if these big movies are even going to release, because there's been so many movies pushed back. So it's a hard it's going to be a hard road to navigate for all the people involved, the exhibitors, the moviegoers, and the film industry as a whole, as they keep on pushing back major releases.
So I just want to quickly say, obviously this pandemic has changed a lot of us in terms of how we've had to change our lives. How might we see some of these themes reflected in the sort of content that might come out moving forward, just quickly?
Well, actually, I recently spoke to the creator of Little Voices on Apple TV, and I think going into their season 2, they're talking about putting some of the pandemic stuff that's been going on in New York, where it's based, into the storyline. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think a lot of us are kind of like waiting to see those stories that really hit the, hit the moment for what's going on today, and show how we're dealing with these pandemics. There's one proposed movie about people that fell in love that he met in a grocery store during the pandemic. So I'm sure these stories are going to come out, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them coming out in the next several months,
Right.
as we get into those movies. But I mean, it's something to look forward to. Like when art can reflect the life that we're living, is something that we could all kind of identify with. And
That's very true. That's very true indeed. Thank you so much.